Okay, so get ready because today we're going to be diving into the world of spatial banking.
Ooh, sounds futuristic.
It is, it is. And just imagine like your bank like transforming into like this personalized financial co-pilot.
Okay.
And it's all powered by AI and like brought to life by, the Apple Vision Pro.
I'm intrigued. Where are we, getting this information from? What are we basing this deep dive on?
Yeah, so we found this really fascinating UX case study.
Okay.
And it explores this whole concept
Okay.
and its potential to like really change how we interact with money,
I mean, Apple Vision Pro already seems like it's pushing the boundaries of how we interact with technology.
Exactly.
So to bring that into banking, I mean,
Yeah.
that's fascinating. What captivated you about the case study?
Well, I think what's really cool is how they like take inspiration from like the Apple Vision Pro and its operating system, Vision OS,
Right.
to envision a future where, banking isn't just confined to like a screen, but it becomes like part of your surroundings.
Almost like you can reach out and touch it.
Yes, exactly. It's like your
Yeah.
finances are coming to life,
Yeah. So how does it actually work? What would it feel like to use this spatial banking?
So imagine like putting on the Vision Pro, right?
Yeah.
And you step into this like personalized banking space.
Okay.
But it's not just about like flashy visuals.
Right.
It's about AI, like working behind the scenes
Uh-huh.
to like offer you tailored advice, predict your needs.
Right.
It's like a proactive approach to banking,
Completely different from what we're used to.
very different.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So instead of just like, checking your balances and making payments,
Right. Your typical online banking.
you'd have this AI advisor
Yeah.
constantly like analyzing your financial situation and giving you guidance.
Well, they talk about that in the case study.
Yeah. So they highlight this.
Okay.
Like really visually engaging snapshot dashboard, and it like displays, all your key financial indicators,
Okay.
recent transactions, upcoming payments,
Okay.
even personalized insights.
Wow.
And it's all laid out in this like really easy to digest format.
So almost like a visual representation of your financial health.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like the interface you see on like streaming services like Netflix,
Uh-huh.
but instead of movies, it's your money.
I like that. Yeah, it's a good way to visualize it.
Yeah.
I can see that being very helpful.
Yeah.
So is there anything else besides that snapshot? What else do they highlight?
So alongside this dashboard, they also have this cash flow window.
Oh.
And it like visualizes all your income and spending trends.
Okay, so you can kind of see where your money's going.
Yes.
And where it's coming from.
You can compare your current financial situation to your budget,
Mm-hmm.
predict potential shortfalls,
Okay.
and even like make real-time adjustments.
So no more struggling with spreadsheets and manually tracking everything.
Exactly.
That alone sounds pretty revolutionary, to be honest.
Right. I mean, that would be like so helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we keep talking about this AI advisor.
Right.
How would it actually help me like make smarter financial decisions?
Well, that's the real magic of this whole thing, right? So the AI would be constantly analyzing vast amounts of data,
Okay.
and not just your banking transactions.
Oh, okay.
So imagine it's factoring in data from your Apple Watch, like your stress levels,
Wow.
your activity patterns,
Okay.
to provide truly personalized recommendations.
So it's taking like personalization to like a whole new level.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
for example, it could potentially suggest taking a break and going for a walk.
Uh-huh.
If it notices your stress levels are spiking because of, financial worries.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So it's really trying to create like a holistic view of your financial well-being and then offer guidance like tailored to your individual needs and goals.
Exactly.
Wow. That AI advisor sounds like it would be incredibly helpful.
Extremely, extremely helpful. Like a financial best friend almost.
Yeah. But let's talk about the practical aspects of banking.
Okay.
Like what about transactions, payments, the things we do every day?
Right.
How would those work in this like spatial banking world?
Well, the case study dives into some really fascinating possibilities.
Okay.
So imagine viewing transactions in 3D.
Whoa.
Like inspecting a 3D model of a recent purchase, or expanding your grocery list to see every item in detail.
That sounds like incredibly cool, but is it really practical?
Well, think about it, right? Like visualizing your spending in such a detailed way could really help you understand your habits and make more informed decisions.
Okay, I see.
And then you have features like, pay later.
Right.
Could give you more flexibility by allowing you to choose to pay for a purchase later, even like a week afterwards.
That's a game changer.
Right.
No more buyer's remorse.
Exactly.
Or scrambling for funds.
Or like, that instant regret when you buy something and you're like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. So pay later.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It gives you a bit more breathing room.
For sure. But what about other financial needs like, savings, investments, loans? Would those be part of this spatial banking experience?
Absolutely. So the study envisions a dedicated marketplace where you can discover financial and lifestyle products that are tailored to your needs. To think of it as like a personalized storefront.
Wow.
Where AI suggests the best deals on everything from real estate to like your favorite brands, all based on your data and preferences.
So it's not just about like finding a better interest rate on my savings account.
Right.
It's about like suggesting the perfect apartment for me based on my lifestyle and financial goals.
Yeah.
That level of personalization is like mind-blowing.
That's the power of AI, right? It can analyze these massive amounts of data and make connections that we might not even consider.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the snapshot, we have the cash flow, we have the marketplace. What about like those quick actions like, adding funds, sending money?
Right, the things you do day to day.
Exploring investments, applying for loans.
Yeah, so for those actions, the study proposes a special toolbar called the ornament.
The ornament.
Yeah, it's kind of like a central hub for all those quick actions.
So it sounds like a one-stop shop for all your financial needs.
Exactly.
It's all pretty cool.
Yeah.
But wouldn't I be like tethered to the Vision Pro headset every time I want to check my balance or make a payment?
So that's where the beauty of the Apple ecosystem comes in.
Okay.
Spatial banking wouldn't be limited to just the Vision Pro, right? Okay. It would integrate seamlessly with all your other Apple devices. Yeah. Your iMac, your iPad, your iPhone, even your Apple Watch.
So I could be like managing my finances in this immersive spatial environment at home with my Vision Pro.
Yeah.
And then just seamlessly continue on my phone while I'm on the go.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Seamless experience across all your devices.
Wow. And with Apple's like vast network of developers and users, I mean, imagine the possibilities for like app integration and expansion beyond banking.
Yeah, it could revolutionize how we interact with the digital world in general, really.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Very, very exciting. It's like a whole new frontier.
It is.
Yeah. And what I find really impressive about this case study is how it goes beyond like just listing features, It really dives into like the design principles and the user experience considerations that would make spatial banking like truly successful. It's not just about the technology. It's about creating an experience that people will actually love.
Okay, so like they really thought this through.
Yeah.
What are like some of those design principles?
Well, one key principle they emphasize is something called glass UI.
Glass UI.
Yeah, and it involves like using transparent elements to create a sense of lightness,
Okay.
And it allows like glimpses of the real world to peek through.
Oh, okay.
So you're not like completely shut off from your surroundings.
Okay, yeah.
It creates this like seamless blend between the physical and digital.
So instead of like feeling completely immersed in a virtual reality headset, it would be more like my banking information is like layered on top of my actual surroundings.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And they also discuss this concept of incorporating like spatial micro interactions.
Spatial micro interactions. What are those?
Yeah, so these are like subtle 3D animations and effects that can make the experience more engaging and intuitive.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Like, can you give me an example of how those spatial micro interactions would like work in a banking context?
Sure. So like instead of just seeing a static check mark when you confirm a payment, imagine like a little 3D animation of coins like flying into your account. It's a small touch, but it adds a sense of like delight and feedback to the experience.
Okay, yeah. I can see how that would make like managing your finances a bit more like fun and engaging.
Right. It's not just this like dry, boring thing. It's actually something that's like visually appealing and enjoyable to interact with.
But would all this like fancy design
Yeah.
be accessible to everyone?
Right.
Like what about people who aren't like, particularly tech savvy or comfortable with spatial computing?
That's a really important consideration.
Yeah.
And the designers actually address it by stressing the importance of like adhering to Apple's Vision OS layout guidelines.
Okay.
So the idea is to make spatial banking feel like a natural extension of the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah.
So something that anyone familiar with an iPhone or iPad
Right.
would find intuitive to use.
Okay, so the learning curve wouldn't be too steep for most people.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But let's circle back to the AI aspect for a moment.
Okay. Yeah.
We've talked about how it would analyze data, offer advice.
Right.
But could that become like overwhelming?
Right.
Would it feel like the bank is like constantly judging my every purchase?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
I was just thinking about that. Like, it's a bit unsettling to think of my bank knowing that much about my spending habits.
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
Yeah.
So that's where the concept of conversational UI comes in.
Conversational UI, yeah.
Yeah, so instead of like bombarding you with constant notifications or judgments, the AI would interact with you through like a chat interface.
Okay.
And it would only offer advice and insights when it's relevant.
Okay.
Or when you specifically request them.
Oh, okay. So it was more like a helpful assistant.
Yeah.
That's there when you need it.
Yeah.
Rather than a constant presence, like looking over your shoulder.
Exactly. You're in control.
Okay.
You can ask questions, you can seek advice, or you can simply ignore the AI.
Okay.
If you prefer to manage things on your own.
That makes me feel better about the whole AI integration. Like, it's about empowerment, not intrusion.
Exactly.
Which I think is really important.
Yeah, it shouldn't feel creepy or invasive.
No, not at all.
It should feel like a tool that you can use to better manage your finances.
Okay, cool. But wouldn't such personalized advice require like some serious AI power?
Yeah.
Like, are we even close to having AI that can truly understand our financial needs and offer genuinely helpful advice?
That's the big question. Right. And the case study highlights some potential AI use cases.
Okay.
That sound, pretty promising.
Okay.
For instance, the AI could potentially help you create a plan to improve your credit score.
Okay.
Automate bill payments. Or even offer insights on, like, investment opportunities.
Wow. It sounds like having a personal financial advisor.
Right.
Without the expensive fees.
Without having to pay those hefty fees, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a game changer for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Especially like people who are just starting to manage their own finances.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And the study even suggests that the AI could integrate with other aspects of your life.
Okay.
Like suggesting personalized deals on travel,
right,
entertainment, or even real estate.
Yeah. So imagine like your financial life and your lifestyle.
Wow.
Like seamlessly intertwined.
That's incredible. But like a part of me wonders if that level of integration might be a bit too much.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to consider.
Yeah. It does raise some interesting questions, though.
Uh-huh.
This whole spatial banking concept is like amazing.
Yeah, it's very futuristic.
But how realistic is it?
Right.
Like, what are the chances of it actually becoming a reality?
Well, that's where the Apple ecosystem plays like a crucial role.
Okay.
Right. You have millions of developers already creating apps for iPhones, iPads, and Macs.
Right.
So it's not hard to envision them adapting those apps for the spatial computing environment of the Vision Pro.
So it's not just about Apple creating this spatial bank themselves. It's about opening up the platform to other developers and allowing them to innovate.
Yeah, exactly. Foster that innovation.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and with Apple's massive user base, there's already a huge potential market for spatial computing experiences.
Yeah.
So the case study suggests that spatial banking could be one of the killer apps that drives widespread adoption of this technology.
I see. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But what about the limitations of the Vision Pro itself?
Right.
I mean, I've heard that it's still quite expensive.
Yeah.
And has, like, limited battery life.
Mm-hmm.
Could those factors hinder the adoption of spatial banking?
Yeah, those are definitely valid concerns.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that this is like just the first generation of the Vision Pro.
Okay.
Right? Just like the early iPhones.
Right.
We can expect future versions to become more affordable, lighter, have longer battery life as the technology evolves.
So we need to look beyond like the current limitations and focus on the like long-term potential of spatial computing.
Yeah, because what's important is that Apple has created this platform for spatial computing, like a whole new way of interacting with digital content.
Yeah.
The possibilities are vast.
Yeah.
And spatial banking is just like one exciting example.
This is truly like a glimpse into the future of finance.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. It is. What are your like personal thoughts on all of this?
I mean, it's an exciting prospect.
Yeah.
It's hard to say for certain what the future holds.
Yeah.
But I believe that spatial computing has the potential to like transform many aspects of our lives, including banking. Yeah. Whether spatial banking becomes like the dominant form of finance, that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a trend worth watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of if, but when. We'll all be managing our finances in these like immersive spatial environments.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that like holographic interfaces are like a certainty.
Okay.
But the core idea, of merging the digital and the physical worlds, using AI to create like these hyper-personalized financial experiences, that's definitely gaining traction.
Yeah. It's a fundamental shift in how we like interact with our money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we've talked a lot about the potential benefits of spatial banking.
Yeah.
What about the risks?
That's an excellent point. Yeah. Every new technology comes with, its own set of risks.
Yeah.
And spatial banking is no exception. So data privacy and security would be like paramount concern. Imagine like the potential damage if someone hacked into your spatial bank and gained access to not just your financial information, but like all the personal data that it's analyzing.
Yeah, so it's not just your bank account at risk. It's like potentially your entire digital life.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a sobering thought.
It is.
Yeah, so it's crucial to consider these risks.
Right.
And another key point to consider is accessibility.
Okay.
We've talked about the potential for spatial banking to be like intuitive and user-friendly. But what about people who can't afford like a Vision Pro headset? Or who have disabilities that might make it challenging to use these like spatial computing interfaces.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to create a situation where only certain people have access to these like advanced banking experiences.
Exactly. As spatial banking evolves, it's really important to ensure that everyone can benefit from these advancements, regardless of, their income or their abilities.
It sounds like there's like a lot to consider.
Oh, a lot to consider.
Beyond like the cool technology itself.
Absolutely, yeah.
We need to be thinking about the broader societal implications, the ethical considerations, and how this technology will like shape our relationship with money.
You've hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Like these conversations are vital.
Yeah.
We need to be like actively engaged in shaping the development of spatial banking to ensure that it benefits everyone and creates a more inclusive and equitable financial future.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
It's given me like a whole new perspective on the future of finance.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how spatial banking unfolds,
Yeah, me too.
What innovations we'll encounter in the years to come.
It's a fascinating time to be at the crossroads of finance and technology.
It is. A huge thank you to you for guiding us through this complex and fascinating topic.
Oh, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure.
And to our listeners, keep exploring, stay curious, and keep those deep dives going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until next time.
See you later.